So today we have a very, very special guest who is not just a casting director. We have Mr. Suman Sarkar ji. He has made a remarkable position in the casting industry already, known by a lot of Bollywood celebrities and a lot of Bollywood environment. But today we have very something very interesting to talk about. It's an app being built by Mr. Suman Sarkar ji. So first of all, I would like to invite you, Mr. Suman Sarkar ji, on this podcast.
Thank
Namaskar.
you,
Hope
thank
you're
you,
doing
thank you
good
for
and you
having
had a
me.
great day. So I'm very inquisitive to know about certain things. Uh, you are a casting director, right?
Yes.
So how the transition from a casting director to an app builder happened? Like, what is this app about? You're very excited to know about it.
See, my BTech is in computer science. Okay. So I always wanted to build something of my own in the software
Mhm.
industry as well. I kind of like stumbled upon into casting. Okay. So after completing my BTech, I have done my MBA in finance and marketing from IIM Bangalore. Okay.
Okay.
And at that time, Ekta Kapoor with his Balaji Telefilms team, they have come to our college to
Oh.
do hiring for their accounts team. Okay. So for the first 11 months or so, I have worked in Balaji Telefilms. Okay. So I was handling accounts of a lot of serial artists because at that time Balaji didn't have Alt Balaji and other OTTs. So they are only doing casting for their serials and stuff. Okay. So I have met with so many serial artists out there. I was handling accounts of people like, Sweta Tiwari and whatnot. Okay. So then, because I was meeting with so many actors, it's kind of like fascinated me about this casting. Then I met Mukesh Chawda. Okay. You know Mukesh Chawda. Okay. So he told me, and I'm talking about year 2018. Okay. Because I'm in Bangalore. I passed out in 2017. So from 2017 to 2018, I was working in Balaji. Okay. And as you know that at that time there was no OTT per se in India. There was only one huge web series which was going on. That's GOT, Game of Thrones. Okay. And then came Sacred Games. But Mukesh Chawla sir told me that, Suman, there's a huge market going to open up in India because he was doing a lot of casting for Sacred Games, Anurag Kashyap sir's project. Okay. So he said, why don't you? Because I'm from a business family. So I always wanted to create something of my own, and that's how like when I created my own company in 2018. I left Balaji in 2018. I worked there for 11 months. Okay. But I wasn't working there as casting coordinator or a director, nothing. I was working as a finance and account manager kind of role out there. I was handling accounts of other serial artists. So I opened my company in 2018, and since then I have been doing casting. Okay. But yes, like I mentioned, because I have done completed my BTech in computer science. Okay, so I right now have two software companies. One is in Mumbai in Bandra, one is in Gurgaon, and yeah, so we recently launched a very interesting, inquisitive app which name is Cause and Effect. It's a productivity app. It's not a parental control app at all. And when we will talk a little more about the app, you will come to know that what's the basic difference we have from a parental control app. Yeah.
So, I think the journey you have told and curated is so beautiful. Like, I have got inspired already, and I'm sure people looking at this podcast would be for sure inspired. So, sir, because from the very beginning, when I was small, I always wanted to be an actress, and I think
Mm.
anybody who goes to Mumbai goes with the dream of becoming an actor. So, first of all, hats off and kudos to you because you are like their god, right? You are the one fulfilling their dreams for sure. So I do remember I used to always say to my mom, I want to be an actress when I grow up. I used to do drama. I want to be, get casted with Mr. Shah Rukh Khan sir one day. So first of all, having you on my podcast is like a something my dream come true kind of thing. So anybody watching this podcast, I think you should really connect with him if you want to give your auditions.
Thank you.
But
Thank
what
you.
inspires me more, sir, is that you were not just towards casting, but you also
Mm.
had another sprouted small dream. So, what are
Oh,
the advantages of using this app? Like, why one should go with this app? When was it launched? And what was the backstory or inspiration behind it?
so the inspiration was always about, see, personally, I I love Virat Kohli. Okay. I love Ronaldo. Okay. Of Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7. So whenever I read their journey, I read books on written on them. So everyone, even people who have written books on them, they have said there were a lot of other players who had more talent than them, but they didn't manage to achieve that much of success, that much which they have done, right? So what sets them apart from others is the discipline, and it's a habit. Every single day, if you are day in day out, when nobody's seeing, when you are working hard but there's no reward, but you are still working upon that and working on yourself, that's what makes the difference. That's what set the 1% apart from the 99%. Okay, so that was the first thing. So we thought about, like, because when I have started creating this software, okay, before we thought about what programming language we'll be using to create the app, we thought about why don't we just go ahead and talk with these very successful people and try to understand what's the difference between them and the other 99 people, 99% of people. So I talked with people and I understood, like, all of these extremely successful people in their own respective fields, they are extremely disciplined. Instead of going through reels, they read books, you know, and their gratification level is not instant. They delay their gratification level, and they can do that because their dopamine map is not, they are not getting their dopamine from reels, they are not getting their dopamine from watching a movie or stuff. No, they are getting their dopamine by reading books, by creating something new, by doing journaling, and by growing their life and individuality. So that was very intriguing, and even after that we talked with psychiatrists, child counselors, and then we understand, okay, this is how the main cause of the problem is instant gratification, and the app which we have developed, it delays the gratification. And this is how you can actually build a character and discipline among young people. Not only is the app is also catering to individual, like, us, but majorly it's catering to children, students. So yeah, that was the inspiration behind creating the app.
It's so beautiful, sir. The idea you talked about instant gratification. I think in the era of AI and the era of technology and
Yep.
social media
Yep.
today, I think if we have 24 hours, I think
Mhm.
the human has the capability to spend all 24 hours on
Yep.
phone scrolling Instagram reels. So the idea is so pure, so divine, so beautiful. But instead of, apart from instant gratification, which is in all, I think, very complete, beautiful idea. What are the other advantages one could get benefited or kids could get benefited from your app?
It's about financial literacy as well. Okay. So whenever the app works in this way, the name of the app is cause and effect. So you do a good cause, you get good effect. And people at times forget nowadays, because you must have heard that good things are nowadays not happening to good people. Okay. And it's kind of like true as well. Okay. So Gen Z and even like people like us of our age group, they think that what's the point of doing good things, right? So that's the reason we have given the name to the app, cause and effect. So we are trying to instill that idea that if you are doing good cause, you will get good effect out of that. So that was the thing. And you have asked me the question, like, what are the other benefits people can get out of that? So one is financial literacy. So whenever you are completing a task, and say you are a child and you are completing a task created by your parent, so parent will get a instant notification that you have submitted the task proof. And the moment they approve the task, you are getting some cause and effect coins. Right now, it's a virtual coin. Okay. You are getting those coins. So you are getting the validation. So everyone needs a pat on the back, right? When you do good stuff. So the app is doing that. So you are completing, you're doing a good thing, and your parents approve it, or individual, like, you can approve your own task as well as an individual. Okay. And it's like a pat on the back the moment you receive some coins in return of completing the task on approval of the task. So what happens, you are getting the validation but not the gratification, because with those many of coins you cannot get a reward. Because to get a reward you need to accumulate good number of coins, and then you can claim a reward, right? So what we are doing, we are giving them the validation which is required, the pat on the back they require, we are giving that, but we are delaying the gratification, because to accumulate coins they have to keep on working on multiple tasks for a certain period of time, and when they have accumulated enough, then they can get the reward. So we are not deriving them from not getting rewarded, we are just delaying the gratification, the process of reward. Yeah.
Wow, that is so beautiful. The ideas of validation, gratification. I mean, the depth of the ideas is insanely divine. But what clicks my mind, what question clicks my mind is that even if that gratification is being delayed and we are giving that validation, still it won't give that dopamine kick to kids, jo Instagram reels, which gives. So how
Absolutely.
can it replace that dopamine effect? Because it may give us a validation, but it won't give us that happiness, that gratification. So is there a tendency children would go back on the Instagram thing for gratification?
See, gratification, yes, absolutely. See, we are not restricting the dopamine. We are trying to rewire the dopamine. Okay. So our app is not social media app. So if you are looking for instant gratification, this is not our app. Okay. So we are not telling that, okay, you use our app, you are going to get gratification instantly. And this is exactly what we are trying to change here. We are trying to rewire a child. Okay, nowadays what happens, even a 7 year old child, I call them child only, right? Okay. And even the teenagers, they are so much hooked into Instagram reels, social media reels. Even in India it's TikTok's banned, but if you go to US and other countries, TikTok is hugely popular, and people are like, posting short videos, long videos out there, and they are all hooked to it, right? And why they are hooked to it? Because they are getting the instant gratification. And not only just social media, video games, there's an epidemic of video games happening not only in India, and all over the world. So people are playing games, people are scrolling through, it's called doom scrolling, you are scrolling through without having any sense of time. And when you do that, what happens? You are getting instant gratification. You are getting validated somehow or the other instantly. This is what we are trying to change. So that's a huge difference. It's not like we are saying, okay, you do that and you will be forgetting about, you will be changing your dopamine map instantly. No, it's a process. Habit, discipline is a process. And this is what we are trying to instill among young people, among young individual, and not only young, like in at any age group they can use our app, and they can build a good habit. See, we all take new year resolution, but very few can actually complete it. Even after 10 days down the line, we just forget about it. Okay, this app will be helping them to instill good habits in them, and eventually with these habits they will become a better in terms of discipline. So that's our motto through this app. Absolutely.
That's so beautiful. So what has been your background? Because like we know you were into casting, into BTech, and your life story has been truly amazing. But what has been your because you're talking about gratification, talking about validation, talking about all psychological concepts which are very rarely known to people. So what has been that background? Were you also a child going after instant gratification, and so you discovered this beautiful app? So how did the seed of that idea budge into you?
The seed was this. See, like I talk with, so because I am in casting, right? So I meet so many people every single day. And when I talk with them, I find the most, when I was a child, okay, I used to read books. Because at that time social media wasn't there. So that was a boon in disguise for us. But now when I talk with so many of these young actors coming in, giving auditions, the only thing I find lacking in them is the discipline. Okay, so that was the first thing, kind of like pushed me, nudged me into the direction of thinking that whether it's going to be a where whether the software can make a difference in the industry or not. So that was kind of like that. So it was never, it was, I didn't have a eureka moment per se to create the app. But yes, it was like, through the process of talking with so many people, and fortunately I meet so many people, because of this casting. Okay, so it's kind of like triggered me on how to make a change in the society, because I have been working as a casting director for last 7 years. Okay, and I have these two software companies since 2021. Okay, so it's been like 4 or 5 years now. Okay, so when I thought about this, so I learned everything from society. I learned everything from so many different people. So that was our way of giving something back to the society. So that triggered, that nudged me. Yeah.
Wow. Um, so because we picked up the topic of casting, you told me you're casting a director. So how can that casting director thing be approachable to you? There are so many people who wants to give auditions,
Mhm.
who
Right.
wants to come into this field as some kind of artist or do some kind of artistry work. How can
Right.
they connect to you and what will be the procedure towards it?
See, there are different ways of doing that. Okay. If you are following different casting agencies, then you will know their email IDs. Okay. You can visit open casting as well. I also conduct a lot of open auditions. So if you find there's an open audition going on, you can simply go and give open audition as well. But nowadays, because most of the casting happens pan India basis, so you can simply approach them via email. If they allow WhatsApp communication, you can also message them on WhatsApp as well. You can directly go to their website, fill up the contact form, and submit your profile out there as well. If you know YRF, they have their own app as well. Even Mukesh Chawla has their own app. So you can go ahead and submit your profile out there as well. So there are different ways of doing it. Okay, so there's no one way. But yes, nowadays due to OTT, we hire so many freshers, which wasn't the case prior to COVID. So the kind of like a blessing in disguise happened after COVID, because the moment COVID was there, people couldn't go to theater. So the boom of OTT happened, and now we cast huge amount of freshers, and there's a huge possibility for all freshers theater artists. They never thought of, they all had this dream of working in movies and web series, but there were no ways for them. But there are a huge opportunity for any newcomer, even established people. Even like you must have heard so many senior artists, they were not getting jobs prior to OTT. Now they are all working in OTTs. So huge possibility. Getting in touch, yes, you just required to have eyes and ears open. You just need to know where this open auditions going on and which agencies to contact. You visit their website, and yeah, you just follow the procedure. That's all.
That's so beautiful. It's a very golden opportunity for people who don't stay in Mumbai. Now they don't
Yeah.
have this kind of
Mhm.
excuse, right? But still, I get because I have been also into onto this journey of being an actor and all. People have this question like me, we have given so many auditions, but
Right.
nothing. There's nothing working out. And we're giving so much.
Mhm.
We have learned acting, we've learned dancing, we've learned singing, but why is it not reaping the results? And they get demotivated and they just give up on their dream. What do you
Mhm.
say to them? What thing you have to say to them?
I would say perseverance matter. Okay, like I mean, there was two lines Amir Khan said once, that कौन कहता है कि आसमान में छेद नहीं होते, एक पत्थर तबीयत से उछाल के तो देखो. Okay, so you need to be determined. Okay, you need to have that perseverance in you. You need to see, whenever you are getting into an industry which is passion driven, okay, the scope for getting into a big role, landing, or getting the big breakthrough, it's always tough, because everyone's struggling. Okay, so we only see that 10% of people who are successful, and then 90% of people get motivated and passionate about getting into the industry. So it was always like that. So you required to be very persistent. You are required to have certain amount of zeal for acting, and yeah, you just required to be again disciplined to certain extent as well, and just keep on trying. You will get your big break. You just required to be having that perseverance in you. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. So as we come to the end of the podcast, what are the two lines you want to say to the people, to the teenagers who's watching this podcast, to adults or to anybody who is dreaming come into this acting industry, or anybody or any kid who's wanting that instant gratification. So in general, in common, what are two lines, a few words of motivation you want to give to them?
I would say that, see, I would, when I meet, say, 10 people, okay, and nowadays, especially young people, they think creating reels on Instagrams and other social medias, and if they are little popular out there, okay, they think they are good actors. Okay, unfortunately, they are not. Okay, so that's something which they need to understand. So you need to learn a lot about acting, because acting is not about just standing in front of camera. Acting is all about understanding a bit of technicalities as well. So for all the budding actors, I would say, if possible, try to join a theater group. That's the minimum you can do if you have that passion for acting. Okay, if you don't wanna invest 3 years time doing a diploma course in acting, I would suggest go ahead and join even a budding theater group. If you join, you will learn a lot about acting and you will get that much of confidence, because in theater it's the actor's medium, the forum for actor. Understand this. On camera acting, it's director's medium. Theater acting is actor's medium, because a director can only teach you, help you to rehearse certain things, but the moment you are on stage, you are performing live. You make a mistake, you have to solve the mistake by yourself. There's no one else to help. So if you are performing on theater, and that's the reason you will see, like, from Nasiruddin Shaw to Shah Rukh to from everyone, they all have worked in theaters. All the big actors, they have all theater artists once, or in their young age. So for all the budding actors, the only thing, the suggestion I would say, go ahead and work in theaters. If you can do a diploma course in acting, okay, there's NSD, National School of Drama, you can do it from there. But if you don't have the time, join a theater group. That will teach you not only the dialogue delivering and stuff, but also the technicalities of acting. And it will give you a huge confidence because you are performing in front of live audience. So yeah.
That is so beautiful, sir. We're so glad to have you on stage on our
Thank
podcast.
you.
We learned about casting, we learned about how to give auditions, we learned about how to not give up on our dreams. We also learned about gratification, and how the validation and dopamine, the psychology behind all the apps and happiness work. We also learned about how that app can really change a kid's life, even a
Yes.
teenager's life, and how it's so crucial for every human being on this planet Earth. So we've learned a lot from casting to apps to everything behind. I think you had an amazing background story which inspired us and motivated us. And your few words of wisdom would be in our hearts, wrenched forever. So thank you so much, Sub, for being on this podcast episode. And we are hoping that we would see you very, very, very soon. So here's your host, Meher, and I hope
And
we would
and
meet
the
you very
app is
soon.
right now live on in App Store as well as Google Play Store. The name of the app is Cause and Effect. I would suggest all, not only young people, parents, individual, go ahead, download the app today. It will change your life. The way we have envisioned it to change the world, it will change the life of everyone.
And I'm 100% sure anybody seeing this podcast would surely go and download. So just get off from the world wherein you don't have time for your family. Just get out of that AI world and use this app and get points, get validation, which every human being needs. You don't need that kind of scrolling for 20 hours and after that just it's a very temporary dopamine shoot. Get that
Right.
validation, get that permanent dopamine shoot with this cause and effect app on Play Store and on any app stores. So we would also love to know your Instagram ID and your contact details as well. If somebody wants to give auditions to you, please
Absolutely.
drop in that.
Yes, so our website is sscd.in. This is Suman Sarkar Casting Director, the acronyms SSCD. Okay, that's our website, and our Instagram ID is Suman underscore casting underscore director. And they can search me very easily by SSCD casting in Google. They will find all the details out there as well.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We're grateful to have you on the podcast. Reason
Thank
go
you. Thank you
follow him
for
on
having me.
Instagram, go through his website, give auditions to him, and I'm sure you could be the next leading actress with the help of his grace and God's grace
Absolutely.
as well. So thank you so
Thank you.
much.